All right. Hey, let's look at this 1929 TB1 banjo. Great shape. You know, if you like these videos, go ahead and subscribe. So here we go. Let's hear what it sounds like. So let's look at this banjo, and this is one of my favorite banjos, meaning the most bang for the buck, because it is a pre-war. It is a 5/8" shell, so it means that you've got the same shell that essentially would be an Earl Scruggs banjo or Sonny Osborne's banjo or the banjo that Bela Fleck likes. And those shells, coupled with having an original pre-war resonator, create almost a magic sound. So we've sold a lot of these. This is the favorite banjo of my students. It doesn't cost a lot compared to original flathead, and it definitely sounds different than a new banjo. So let's look at it. So here we have, when we do this close-up, you'll notice that all these banjos look pretty much the same. So we have all original parts. We do include the original tailpiece with this banjo, but it's called a window tailpiece. So for functionality, we did put a newer Presto, okay? So you've got all the original parts, but one of the parts happens to be in the case, okay? We could polish this armrest, but we decided not to. We don't want to disturb any patina or anything. And as we go up the neck, we see that it is a Tim Davis neck. Real nice neck. He's turning one of the premier builders of necks. And we just go up there, and it's obviously hearts and flowers up to the headstock. And this is a speed neck, okay? A mahogany neck. Oh, which is cool, because mahogany is going to give you I was wondering why this banjo sounded so good. A lot of people like mahogany, and this is mahogany. Of course, the resonator's maple, but this is mahogany, and it's a speed neck. Well, what does a speed neck do? It makes you play faster. It feels better. It actually feels like a 50 or 60-year-old neck, because when you play a banjo for 50 or 60 years, you get the finish kind of smooths out, and you can really play on that neck. And with mahogany, it looks pretty, fairly normal. You'll see that it's finished on the heel. You'll see it's finished here. Now, when you do this to like a curly maple neck, it looks almost white, but this looks cool. And anyway, it's kind of a plus if you play a lot, all right? So that's that. Let's take it apart, and you'll see that this one, you'll see the serial number written in chalk, and actually I think this is a later than a 29, but it doesn't really matter. They made these from 29 through about 36, and it has a number in chalk, and sometimes they would paint the number. Because usually if somebody's trying to fake one of these, we can tell it's almost by the handwriting. All right, so that's that. All right, so now what we have is let's look at the actual back of the banjo. Now, a couple things, you'll notice that the flange has kind of a grayish color, and that's a sign that it's pre-war. It has one coordinator rod. But I've talked to Steve Ubrin, and he said that second coordinator rod really doesn't do a whole lot. Okay, and then, so you know it's either a 1 or a 2. You have the Gibson label in here, okay? And you also have the serial number, which we're not even going to try to, it's hard to film the serial number because it kind of shiny. But anyway, that's in there. Same serial number that's on the resonator. And this has a first quality tone ring in it, okay? And I really like that tone ring, and it's almost the J.D. Crowe tone ring that was put in the Gibson banjos, and it may be very similar, if not exact, but it doesn't say J.D. Crowe on it. But anyway, so first quality is one of the premier makers, and in this particular banjo with this mahogany neck, this thing sounds incredible. Anyway, and this is all original, and I didn't show you the back of the resonator, but this thing, it's all original, it's in great shape, metal's in great shape, so it has all the things that you'd want as an investment, and it also has the sound. And this might sound kind of crazy, but the students that have purchased this, what they'll do, they'll play banjo and they'll get some of the Gibson reissues, and they'll hear this banjo, and once they buy it, they don't play anything else, so they end up either getting a second one, which I've had a couple students do this, or they'll trade their current inventory, which could be all their banjos. Somebody started with during Good Time, then they went to a Bish line, and then they bought a Rich Era Scruggs, and one of my students traded all their banjos to get a second one of these because they were so afraid that if they something happened to their banjo, what would they do, So anyway, if you have any more questions, you can go to banjowarehouse.com. You can also go call Andy at 404-372-5482, and that's basically it. So you can visit us at the airport, and we're somewhat safe. Generally, if you're visiting us, you're going to be the only person there. There might be 2 customers, but most of the time it's 1 customer. I mean, if you're really concerned, we'll even just make an appointment, and you'll be the only customer. And we'll sit in our car and call you. No, we're not going to do that. But yeah, you can feel as safe as possible. Can't guarantee a thing, but and we do get 3 or 4 people, visitors. And if you come, you can play all these different banjos. So if you're thinking, well, gee, I wonder what this sounds like compared to a Gibson reissue. What does it sound like compared to a 4? What does it sound like compared to a original flathead? And on and on. And if you plan to spend about 4 hours, you will understand banjos better than you could. It'd take you 20 years to learn what you're going to learn in 4 hours. That's it. So we'll talk to you guys later, and you guys have a great day.